Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we have a chance to check kit from Meng. We actually published diorama from Sergey Kovalyov with this kit, but now we can check all sprues, and as you can see we have it here on our cutting mat. But first, as usual, let me invite you to check another video review with Meng kit which you can find here on our YouTube channel, and of course don't forget to visit our website which you can find on this link. So as for today's subject, this is a Shilka in 35 scale. Quite an interesting subject. It's an anti-aircraft gun which was nicely copied by Meng, and I would say that this particular version is much better than all available, I would say, versions on the market from any manufacturer. Nevertheless, let's open the box and check what's inside. But first let me show you that there are marking options shown on the sides, and actually there are more of them included into the kit. We will see it further in the video review. Of course, this is a top opening box, so just give me a second to open it. And that's what we find inside. So assembly manual is on the top, all sprues are carefully packed into the separate plastic bags, no problems at all. I would say that this package, I mean, you saw that my box is slightly damaged and it survived some really rough shipment by Russian post, so you can expect a properly delivered sprues without any possible problems with the parts. So assembly manual is a quite nice cover printed brochure, short history note in several languages on the first part, then some assembly advices, and then assembly process starts. Model should have workable tracks and suspension, and of course you will be able to open all possible hatches and other stuff. It will be up to you. There is choice between several versions of the vehicle, and as you can see, marking options are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's all. 9 marking options, and paints chart in Vallejo paint numbers. So that's quite a choice, I would say. Next we have first plastic sprue. As you can see, it's packed into the sealed plastic bag, so we need scissors to open it. Just give me a second, I will cut it away and we will check frame a bit more thoroughly. All parts here are molded out of dark green plastic, which is quite traditional for Russian vehicles from Meng. I mean, you saw it in T-90, you saw it in T-72, and even in T-10 as far as I remember. So here we have first plastic sprue. As you can see, manufacturer decided to place here different plastic elements. For example, here we have cables, here we have antenna, locator, cover, some parts of the turret. Everything is molded quite carefully. I can see that attachment points are thin enough in order to carefully separate them without damaging parts themselves. Here is the second plastic sprue. Again, I need a second to cut it through. I can see here some parts for the turret again. These are designed as separate one-piece panels, so that you won't have to spend your time trying to align some really unnecessary separated parts. Here also we have one-piece main gun barrels. I can zoom a camera so that you can see them closer. As you can see, they look quite nice, but of course some modelers will prefer to replace it with metal analog, and that might seem quite logical. Here you can see again some towing cables, this large turret part I was mentioning before, some hull parts, and again locator parts which are placed here. Molding quality is on the same level, so no worries. It's very nice. Next we have plastic sprue with more of turret parts. We have here a large ring for the bottom of the turret. Of course it will be rotatable, even on the assembled model. And here you can see all the parts. Note that here we have even the ammo belts, which are nicely molded and should look good after some careful painting. Here you can see whole sprue at once. And here we have some parts for the suspension, which should be attached to the lower hull half, of course. Next we have another plastic sprue. This one is marked with H letter. And here manufacturer decided to place more of the turret parts. I can see some other types of the main gun barrels, so just give me a second. We'll take a closer look on them. Okay, so here is the sprue, turret parts, and here we have some gun barrels which are molded as one piece elements. They look quite nice, but as I said before, if you have a chance to replace them with metal alternative, do it, because I mean nothing can rival metal parts. And as far as I know, RB Model is producing the aftermarket set for this vehicle, so you can use it even on Meng kit as well. Here we have sprue with large parts. Those are also used for the turret assembly. Just give me a second to cut through the plastic bag. And here you can see them. These are quite large elements, and I'm quite surprised that they are molded as one piece. I mean, in some kits you have to assemble it out of many pieces. And this can be considered as an advantage, because you won't have to fiddle with separate sub-assemblies. You just glue all those parts together and you're ready to go. And note this nice surface detailing. I mean, it looks really nice, and it just asks for proper washing done in order to get even more convincing finish. Here we have first hull part. This is a top cover of the hull, and just give me a second, I'll open it and show it to you. Actually, I really like this, let's say, molding technology developments, because now we can have really complex shaped parts molded as one piece elements. Of course, some might complain that it's not modeling when you have large part as one piece, but it's easier to assemble and it's more, let's say, pleasurable. So here we have top hull cover. As you can see, some panels are molded separately. For example, here we have engine mesh molded separately, some front hatches. And you can position them open, but of course there is no engine included, and there is no interior detailing, so I really doubt that you will be opening the rear cover. Here we have another hull part. This one contains side skirts. Note that side skirts are molded together in part of this frame-like part. We also have here a seat for the turret machine gunner, as far as I can guess, and some turret parts. Everything looks fine, and with careful assembly you might get a nice result. Next we have suspension parts. As you can see, two similar sprues are packed into one plastic bag. Of course I will show you only one, because they carry absolutely identical parts. There is no need to show them separately. Here we have road wheels, also some of the suspension parts, some hatches, and even drive sprockets, which you can see here. Molding quality is quite nice, and all parts are molded as one piece elements. Of course, each pair of wheels should be assembled together. The same can be said about drive sprockets, but note the attachment points to the drive sprockets, which are aligned to the teeth, so you'll have to be careful while cutting them off in order not to damage those teeth. And as I said in the beginning of this video review, we have workable tracks. Track parts are given on these large sprues. I'll remove only one just to show you what we have here. Just give me a second again. Okay, so here it is. Separate track links. You will have to cut each out of the sprue. Of course, it might seem like a tedious work, but as a result you will have a nice detailed tracks on your Shilka. and I think it's worth it. Next we have hull part, lower hull part, which is molded as one piece. As you can see, it's packed together with vinyl polycaps. Just give me a second to cut again this plastic bag. And here we have it. So this is a quite nicely molded lower hull part. Again, here we have carefully replicated surface of the lower panels. And here is the polycaps sprue, which I mentioned before. This one obviously should be used either for suspension elements or maybe for wheels. Transparent plastic frame is packed into the separate plastic bag. There is only one. And just give me a second to open it. I will show you what we have here. As far as I can guess, we have here, note that plastic sprue is also wrapped into film, so it won't be scratched. Here we have different parts for the external detailing, headlamps, also periscopes, and some other parts which should be useful on the Shilka. Next we have small PE thread and rubber cable. Here is PE thread. This one is dedicated to obvious set of parts. I mean, here we have typical meshes, also even chains here, which should be used on the vehicle. This is a mentioned rubber cable. I'm not sure what is it for, but if it is included, it should be useful. And then there is a separate plastic bag with decal sheet. Again, I need a second to remove it out of the bag. Decals are printed in cartograph. As you can see here, we have all necessary symbols, even some symbols for the dashboard, which we saw on transparent parts, and I hope application will be easy too. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it, and of course don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, share this video with your friends, and see you in the next video review as usual. Bye!